Night, genuine love, respect. Like I said, my content is not for everybody, and that's okay. But slumlords, and their employees that they hire, you know, God works in mysterious ways. Because everybody's story is different when it comes to dealing with a slumlord or an employee that don't want to do their job and they under someone's contract of working for them. And it's sad that people are going through this and it's actually experiencing this. And I say that respectfully. It's like when you have an employee, an employer, and someone is your boss, you're supposed to do your job. And it's like when someone realizes that you're a liability, at the end of the day, the company does the most weirdest things. And it happens a lot. They're quick to say that that employee doesn't work there anymore. Or they will manipulate the system. It doesn't matter if someone is disabled or whatever their culture is or their sexual orientation is. It doesn't matter. You will come across an employer, either one of them, and they would dead lie. And said, I gave you this name. And once someone is being harassed or someone's being disrespected, now that person's name doesn't exist anymore, but it's the same person. And it's sad that people really go through this. It really is. Because now you're trying to take care of your business, and now everybody wants to play victim. Now nobody knows what's going on. I didn't send that person to do this job. Oh, but you did. I didn't do that, but you did. Now everybody wants to point the finger. Oh, this company ain't nothing anyway. But y'all still have to deal with consumers and tenants at the end of the day. And y'all disrespecting the tenants. Hell, the consumer. When something needs to be repaired or when someone is being discriminated against. And it's sad that it's the establishment that's doing the disrespect. It should be no reason why somebody does not have the proper documentations when it comes to statements every single month. Everybody's supposed to be on the same page as to what somebody's paying. That's what I thought. And if somebody's paying their rent somewhere and it's paid in full, it should be no reason why that person is in the courthouse. And they're inquiring like, hey, over this time frame, I've been asking to get the proper documentations to be on the same page because maybe I have an outstanding bill, but the account is already paid off. Or my numbers are messed up on the statement. You're not complying. It could be numerous things. And they're putting people in court for this. Like, for what? And then they hiding their hands and playing victim. They hiding their hands, they don't want to do repairs. They hiding their hands and they saying that the consumer or the tenant is the one doing the damage. It may be some people that may have done damages, maybe in your past, but not everybody is like that. You may have came across somebody that damage your property, but not everybody is like that. Especially if somebody is showing you when you go into their unit or whatever establishment it is and they're maintaining it. Why y'all lying on that person for? Y'all ain't got nothing but else to do. But this is the type of stuff that happens every single day. Somebody could be paying their rent. Why is the landlord trying to bust open the door and that person's contract is updated? Their lease is updated. Regardless of a 2-year lease, a 1-year lease, or whatever the amount of leases, or whatever the case may be, it should be no reason why somebody's being violated. And they have a contract with somebody. And this is becoming the norm of the norm. As to, okay, they can do whatever they want to do. Once they take your money and say, have a nice day, but not giving you the proper notation as to, hey, I'm coming on a property. I'm acknowledging myself. Let me acknowledge myself first. They're not even doing that. That's a problem. That's a safety problem. And I say that respectfully, because you're paying rent somewhere. Not only paying rent somewhere, but you're complying. If this needs to be fixed, if this needs to be updated, if something is going on, or whatever the case may be, anything, a person is complying. So why is it that it's okay for a landlord that doesn't want to do their job, or let alone they're just money hungry at the end of the day, why is it okay for them to go to someone's door and allow this to be the norm and remove their locks? A person has a family. A person understands a temporary situation. But if you have a contract with somebody, you have a lease with somebody at the end of the day, it should be no reason why that person is being violated throughout that contract, and especially if their rent is being paid, or even if it is not fully paid, at least the consumer or the tenant is complying and is acknowledging, we have a payment plan, or we're discussing this. You had a conversation or something. Somebody said something. It's a thought process for me. Why is this the norm? Why is this the norm? And it's getting worse. Because now it's like how these landlords is moving. They want to up the price now on the rent even more. So what they're doing is they're putting people in court, regardless if your rent is paid or not, because it's happening to innocent people too. It's a thought process to me. It should be no reason why someone's paperwork is in a courthouse if you're trying to put them in collections for outstanding payment and they don't owe no money on our account. Why are you putting them in tenant and landlord court for? The math is not mathing. And then when they speak up about it, it's like, oh, nobody's on the same page. Nobody knows what's going on. But if the person is getting a statement that's not their correct statement, and the account is already paid, that's an overcharged statement that doesn't even exist. This type of stuff is happening every single day now. Why? Why it's became the norm? It's a thought process to me. Nobody deserves to live with the fact that, wow, I'm going to be put out tomorrow because I signed a contract with a slumlord. I understood a temporary situation. I'm just trying to get myself together. It's a thought process to me. Why it should never have to wait for the next person to experience something like this for someone to be on the same page when it comes to respect. And I say that respectfully. You know, you have good tenants, then you have the bad tenants. And it's sad that the bad tenants that did things in their past, or the experience that they had with these landlords or these customer service reps or these service employees, that it affects the good people. And it's sad that a person would judge a book by its cover because of your culture or your sexual orientation. They will already label you that you're dirty. They will already label you and say that you would damage property. They will already label you this type of stuff because they can't wait to talk about it. But when it's not you, and they judge the book by its cover, that's the problem. Because not everybody's the same. Somebody gets something, they cherish it. Some people don't cherish certain things that come into their life when it comes to a blessing in disguise sometimes. Just like that. Someone thinking it's a blessing in disguise, they got an apartment or whatever the case may be, and they go in there and damage the person's stuff. Everybody don't show up for themselves the same. That's the problem with people today. They think it's something is a blessing. How could that be a blessing when you destroyed it? You're supposed to value that blessing if that was the case. If that was a blessing. It's a thought process. I mean, we are all not the same. You got the good tenants, and you got the bad tenants. You got the bad tenants who don't care about their life itself. So what do you think they're not gonna cook? When they cook, they're not gonna clean. They're gonna damage the people's property. And then you see somebody that's a decent person that walks in the door because someone was wearing a mask. It's like somebody off their thought process, let alone their pockets. Now they got to repair. Now you got the good person just walked in the door. Now you got this person feeling, okay, well, I'm going to judge you already. The person's already judged before they actually had a chance. Only to realize, wow, I shouldn't have did that day. I shouldn't have judged my neighbor. I shouldn't have did that. It's a thought process to me. This type of stuff happens every single day, and it's getting worse. It really is. And it's not right. Because if you have a contract with somebody, you're supposed to agree with that contract. On both parties. Meeting each other halfway when it comes to that contract. Not disrespecting each other in no shape or form. But showing up for that contract. Because evidently, it was a contract for a reason. If it was a temporary or long term. It's a thought process. I mean, nobody should be disrespected. In no shape or form. By employees, or consumers, or tenants, or not. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And this ain't right. It's a thought process for me. I'll continue part 2. Hygiene, love, respect. Don't get discouraged because of a temporary situation. You know, especially when you know you're trying. That's all you can do is try. But don't allow a temporary situation to hold you back. To see the faith that God installed within you. Because there are better days ahead. Just gotta believe in yourself. You know, it's sad to see how people are being forced out their homes. Nobody deserves to be homeless. Nobody. You know, regardless to who you are, at the end of the day, nobody deserves to be homeless. A person could wish it bad on you at the end of the day, but nobody deserves to be homeless. Good or bad. And I say that respectfully. Nobody deserves to be homeless. But where's the respect at? Regardless to how it's being funded, cash or a program or not at the end of the day, not everybody's the same. And I say that respectfully. Not genuine love, respect. Just because someone gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because someone overlooks you, don't give up on yourself. You are genuinely loved by all the right people. You are genuinely respected by all the right people. And you deserve to be treated with respect. With no malicious intentions. Protect your energy. Don't get discouraged because of a temporary situation. Don't get discouraged. Not genuine love, respect. Have a good day.